Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. We will begin in like another 1 or 2 minutes. We are just waiting on people to join in. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Am I audible? Please let me know. Please let me know if I'm audible or not so we can begin the session. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. So I am audible. Great. Oh, we have participants from Nigeria as well. All right, we'll begin the session. A very good evening to all of the attendees, participants, and our host as well. Here, we begin this exciting session, 229 session of CENTOX on Path to CENTA International Teacher Professional Olympiad. So we have prepared a great content for you today. A lot of queries. We expect a lot of queries. We expect a lot of content from the host as well. So, to begin the session, let me just welcome Mr. Rahul. Rahul, how are you doing? Hello, Rahul. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay,
How are
actually,
you?
I can't hear anybody else on this, so that's why my confusion. So, if Rastogi, maybe if you can just add to the chat if I'm audible, that'll be great. And
Right.
when's my cue to
Yes.
start?
All right, great. Just give me a minute. So, am I audible to you, Rahul?
No, I can't
No.
really hear much on this system right now.
Okay, all right. All right, then I will let you know when I begin.
Hi, Rastogi, please say something.
Yeah. So I was telling you that I'll let you know when to begin. Is it audible now? Okay, fantastic. All right. So again, I'll start from the beginning. Let's welcome our host, Mr. Rahul here. Rahul, very warm welcome to this Sentalk session. Great. So let me give you a brief introduction about Rahul before we begin the session. Rahul here in CENTA is the global business head and also part of the top management team at CENTA. More to it, he is responsible for a range of partnerships across central government bodies like CBSE, NCRT, to several state governments like Haryana, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, etc., including thousands of private schools across the country. And more going on to the background of Rahul's experience, he has traded financial derivatives on major international exchanges for 6 years. And across that, he has founded two startups, venturing ranging ventures which is ranging from fintech to fresh produce. He has headed expansion for Uber across multiple parts of India, in states like Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, etc. And coming to the point, like it is very an integral part of him. He has ran a school for 85 children of migrant laborers on the footpaths of Gurgaon. He takes extreme pride in that. And before joining to CENTA, that's what he all did before he finally joined CENTA to follow his passion for education. So, Rahul, very happy to have you here.
Thank you so much,
So,
Rastogi, for the kind words. Very, very happy to be here.
Yes, so before I hand over the session to Rahul, a quick note to all the participants here. Since this session is very special, it's a very dedicated session to our CENTA International Teacher Professional Olympiad. As I told in the beginning, I think Rahul missed it out. We are anticipating a lot of questions as well. We are here to support. Please type your responses, queries in the chat. We are there to support. We have a lot of exciting content prepared for you, and also a feedback form which contains additional information and schedule for upcoming sessions as well. So please hang in there. So over to you, Rahul.
Thank you once again, Rastogi. Good afternoon, everybody, all our dear teachers across India and the world. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Very humbled to be speaking to all of you and introducing this fantastic 9-year-old competition for teachers that we've been running now, the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad. First of all, quick hello to some of the people who've joined us from various parts of India and the world. So, Miss Cecile Espirito, welcome to the session. Mr. Hiran Chetri, welcome. Mr. Emmanuel Silas, hello from Nigeria. We also have Vijay Shri Hatkar ma'am, who's calling from India, who's joining from India. We have Minu Tyagi ma'am joining from Bangalore. Please keep it coming, and please let's greet each other as we continue through the next few minutes. And I can take you through some of the initial introduction to this year's edition of the ninth edition of the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad. We've called it the Path to the CENTA International TPO. And this is an introductory session, after which there will be more in store as part of this series, which focuses much more on core concepts for various subjects. So without further ado, I'm going to start presenting now. Quick check. How many of us here have taken the CENTA International TPO before? Please answer with a simple yes or a no or a Y or an N. So, Ms. Sarda Devi Ravatu has started us off with a no. We have the first yes from Ms. Mini Ramesh. Great. So please keep them coming. I'll wait for the initial ones can be answered regarding the CENTA International TPO. Great. I think we have a healthy mix of yeses and nos right now. Great. So Hiran Chetri says it's their first time. So does Meena Patel, ma'am, and Annette Verghese, ma'am. I can see more people saying that they have taken it before, including Vignesh M. Great. So as you keep typing, let me now move on to the next slide. Now, the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad. See, before I go to the Olympiad itself, I just want to set context. Uh, as all our teachers know, and I hope you all know, CENTA exists purely for one reason, which is the rewards and recognitions and aspirational value of teaching as a profession. We want to make this one of those professions where all of you, as teachers, aspire to much greater heights and get rewarded, recognized for the same. That's the only reason why CENTA exists today. starting in 2015, we launched the CENTA International TPO, and we have gone 8 years strong through the pandemic, etc., with fantastic support from all our participating teachers from India and the world. This year, it's no less. It's a revamped version of the event with great partners, great awards, a different format. And let me quickly take you through some of those. So, in today's webinar, broadly what we'll cover are the following. We'll cover the overview of the competition. I'll quickly tell you about the history, the format, and the subject tracks. I will talk about then the partners, awards, and benefits. Then I will cover the competencies that are tested in the prelims of the competition. Moving on to the preparatory sources and materials for your teachers. And then at the end, there is a very exciting announcement for the viewers of this session. Good things come to all those who wait, and we'll leave the best for the last. So let's jump in now with the overview of the competition. So where it started, how it has evolved since then, what is the current format, and what are the subject tracks that are covered or offered in this year's competition. So, as I said, 2015 was when we started with 7 cities, participation from 7 cities only. In 2019, we actually moved to 2 countries, so India and the UAE, and we had 75 cities where we had centers. Quick question to everybody here: how many of you have ever gone and taken a CENTA Teaching Professionals Olympiad test from a test center, which is pre 2019? Anybody who has, please say yes. So in 2015 through 19, when we had center based tests, we used to run these centers in 75 cities in India. In 2024 now, we have 5,000 plus regions that are represented by teachers taking this test, and they come from an astonishing 70 countries. So over the last 8 years, we have a fantastic legacy of seeing growth for teacher performance and ensuing rewards and recognition. In 2024, it is a fully online and international event. So, fully online. Now, what do I mean when I say it's fully online? You can take the test using either a laptop, a desktop, or a smartphone with a front facing camera and microphone, and either of these devices with an internet connection. Obviously, for best performance, for best experience, we strongly recommend that you use a laptop or desktop. Having said that, you can still take the test using your smartphone. This is a two-stage competition. The prelims are in scheduled slots till 29th March 2024, and the finals will take place in April 2024. It's an international competition, which of course means various things. One is that last year we had participation from 30 countries, and we have awards from global organizations. This year, as an additional benefit, we are actually growing to 6 national level prelims in 6 countries across the world. I will tell you a little more about that as we move. Now, the test itself is 90 minutes long, the prelims test that is, and it has 50 multiple choice questions that every participant takes part in. Now, again, sticking to the history of the competition, from 2015 to 19, this was a single stage competition where there was just the finals. In 2020, we actually moved to a two-stage format where we had prelims and finals, and that's what we continued till 22. This year, again, we are still continuing with the two-stage format where the prelims will be multiple choice questions only. So, in the finals, we'll have a video evaluation and subjective questions. Some of you might be wondering why we jumped from 22 to 24. Just to be clear, there was no gap year, so to say. We've just renamed the competition to reflect the year in which the finals take place. So for the CENTA International TPO 2022, the finals actually took place in April 2023. It was causing a fair bit of confusion among teachers, and that's where we decided to actually call it by the year in which the finals take place. Now, coming to the subject tracks, when we started in 2015, we had 9 subject tracks to begin with, and move forward to 2024, we are offering 24 subject tracks with some recently introduced tracks in the past few years like Hindi language, school leadership, etc. Now, this is a list of the subject tracks. And please don't worry if you don't get a proper screenshot of this or you can't note it down. I will share resources and pages where you'll find all these pieces of information very readily. Moving on to the partners awards and benefits. So, as you can see from this slide, the CENTA International TPO 2024 is brought to you in association with Education World. Those of you in India, especially, would be quite familiar with the Education World brand and company. We also have very strong set of additional partners in the form of University of California, Santa Cruz, the Oxford University Press, and the University of Buckingham in the UK. Moving on to some of the partners that this competition has graced over the years, we have Reliance Foundation, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Michael Sosendel Foundation, Varkey Foundation, among the many others that you see here. I'll just take a second there for all of you to take a look at this slide. Right, now coming to the prizes and benefits. So yes, we have a lot of partners that work with CENTA on this fantastic initiative. Uh, Now partners bring two things. The main thing that we bring is reward and recognition for winners, and that hasn't changed at all this year. So this year, some of the rewards and recognition that winners can expect to take home include the following. You of course get a certification from CENTA, which certifies you as a CENTA teaching quotient clear teacher. There'll be media profiling of winning schools and individuals by Education World. We are offering scholarships for training and learning worth 15 lakh rupees for the top 20 teachers. We have additional cash prizes worth 79,000 for the 6 countries that we discussed earlier, where we are now launching national regional prelims. There are very attractive internships and trainings from the University of California, Santa Cruz, Oxford University, and University of Buckingham. And there are cash prizes worth 5.5 lakh rupees for the top 8 teachers of this competition. As we've always said, and as we've always maintained, the CENTA International TPO has one main purpose, which is to reward, recognize, and celebrate our teachers. Now, moving on to the competencies that we'll test in the prelims. So, again, like I said, this is a 2-stage competition this year again. You have the prelims that will go on till the end of March, and then you have the finals that will take place towards the end of April. Now, for the prelims, which is your first stage, what is going to be tested? So, quick question. How many of us here on this call are familiar with the CENTA Standards? Just press a yes or a no on the keyboard. How many of us are familiar with the CENTA Standards? A quick yes or a no. Great. So we have Aruna Naik ma'am saying yes, she is. Jular Shira ma'am says that he's not. Murli Mazahir says yes, he is. Great. So as we keep getting more of these, I'll quickly explain what the CENTA standards are. Now, the CENTA standards are a globally accepted teaching competency framework that CENTA had created way back in 2014. It lays out the competencies that a teacher needs at various points in their career. If they are a teacher that is new into the profession, that they've just started working as a teacher, then what is expected of them will be very different from what is expected 10 or 12 years down the line when they become a much more experienced teacher. So this document, it outlines all the various competencies that a teacher needs to produce or display at various stages in their career. It's a very interesting document. After this, we can share the link with you also for you to take a look. However, coming back to the point, the CENTA Standards has 4 broad competency sets: the technical competencies, professional competencies, core competencies, and the mindsets. What does this particular test cover is what we'll come to next. We have subject expertise, pedagogical content knowledge, general pedagogy, and professional competencies and communication skills. Now, we have a total of 50 questions over 90 minutes, and the marking is a total of 80 marks that you fight for. As you can see, we've tried to put together a small snippet of what the test platform actually looks like, where you can see that you only need to select one answer, as it's a multiple choice question format test. Now, what it ends up being is, for each of you that participates in this test, you get a score in each of these competencies. So you will know what your current strengths and development areas are across these four competency sets of subject expertise, subject specific pedagogy, general pedagogy, and professional competencies. Naturally, just one table with some numbers will not really help you that much, which is why CENTA also provides each individual participant with a very detailed report of their performance, including various insights, including recommendations for learning paths. So this basically acts as a very useful diagnostic test for every teacher to know what they should focus on in terms of professional development. Now, moving on to the preparatory sources and material. Now that we know what is being tested, it's useful to understand how we can actually go about preparing for this. At the outset, I would like to say that this test is a great reflection of, of your teaching competencies as of when you take the test. So, if you're taking the test now, it tells you how your teaching practice is across various competency sets. Of course, having said that, we still would like to prepare a little bit for everything we do in life. And that is what we'll move on to now in terms of preparatory material. So, the first thing that we strongly recommend all of us on this do is actually download the CENTA app, because that is where we have every single resource available put down. Uh, Sapna basic classes, I will answer your questions as we move along once we get to the end of this. But first, can I request our team to please put in the chat box the various links that they need to that our participants need to click. So as you can see, the Google Play link is here. So which is the app for people using an Android system, and people using an Apple system can use the second link there. Excuse me, which will take you to the App Store link. So I will pause here for a second, and as you are downloading this app, I'll wait for say 30 seconds or so as you start downloading, and then we'll resume. In case anybody has any trouble with downloading the app, please let us know here. So can our participants quickly respond with a yes or no to whether they have the app on their phones now? A quick round of responses, please. Great. Mr. Jularsi Ashira says already installed. Anapika Paul Man says yes. Great. So does Osasu Erabor and Mini Ramesh. Thank you, ma'am. Absolutely, Shilpa Jaikumar, ma'am. If you already have the app, there's no need. The idea was to explain the various resources and material available, which will best be done on the app. So for those of us here who do not have the app installed yet, it'll be very useful if you do, so that I can then take you through that. You can, as you move along this session, you can look at the various resources and then let us know if there's something else that you'd want. Great to see a lot of yeses in this. Fantastic. Great. So moving on, how do we prepare for the CENTA International TPO? Like I said, ideal case scenario is you actually go on and take this test as you are where you are. But we still want to offer all our teachers the right opportunities to prepare for this. So the first thing is the CENTA TPO resources group. Now, this is a group or a community that we've created on the app where all the teachers that are either interested in or are taking the CENTA International TPO can join to start engaging on various aspects of the competition. So, if you can go to, so actually, can I just request my team to please put in the link in this chat box for that community for the CENTA TPO resources group? Great to see the yeses continuously coming in. Very, very nice to see all. Most of our teachers here have already downloaded the app and are using it. Great. So, if you can open your app and go to the community tab at the bottom. So, at the bottom of the app, you'll see there's a strip where you have community as one of the four options there. So, if you can click on community and then go to my groups, and I'll wait for people to get there. So you go to community, click on that, and then there is a my groups icon. If you click on that, you have a search icon on the bottom right. If you can click on that and then scroll down to the bottom, you'll find the group called CENTA TPO Resources Group. You can join that group right now, and then we'll see a lot of engagement on that where we can keep in touch with you to help figure out some of your FAQs, some of the resources you would need, etc. Moving on, we have sample questions, which are which are organized subject wise and then competency wise also. So if you're looking at say middle school math, you have various competencies that it covers, including subject expertise, pedagogical content, knowledge, etc. The way we have organized the questions is that you have PDFs, PDF documents with very long explanations of the entire options of the question. So you have one question and four options. These very detailed analysis will help you figure out what the right answer is and what the wrong answers are, so that you know why the correct option is the correct option and what are the reasons why the incorrect options are not correct. So again, if you can go to the learning section on your app, so there's a learning section there again at the bottom. If you click the learning section and then go to free resources, so there'll be a tile called free resources. There you'll find a whole list of PDF files where you have questions with explanations. The third resource that we made available is the sample questions. Just 1 second. So, Mr. Samar Kidwai, we'll come to how to register for the International TPO. Great. Now, sample question explanation videos. Simple. So these are just like the previous one were PDF files with text and images. We also have video explanations where we have our experts explaining, going into detail for various questions across various subjects. So that you just go back to the home page of the CENTA app. In the search bar, if you can type just CENTA, you'll see a whole list of resources coming up with video links for those files. The last one is recorded webinars and other free learning resources. Now, this again has been made available on the learning section under free resources. So you'll find a whole list of resources and past webinar YouTube videos that you can access to again get a much better idea of what to expect in the test. The last one, of course, is live webinars. I think this is a great example of that, what we are currently engaged in. After this, of course, there'll be subject-specific live webinars, which we'll come to shortly. Great. Now, coming back to, so a few of us have asked here as to how to register for the CENTA International TPO. Now, what is it's basically a simple list of steps. You go to the link that is mentioned here. It's centa.org/TPO 2024. So you can see the link in the chat bot now by CENTA team. It says centa.org/TPO 2024. Mr. GM Bugio, since you asked for the download of the app, maybe my team can I request the team to please add the links again for the app download? So Mr. GM Bugio, you can see the Google Play link here, and we'll shortly add the Apple Store link also. And here's the Apple App Store link. I hope this resolves your issue. Great. So you go to the page centa.org/TPO 2024 and you click on the button register now. Once you're there, you simply have to fill out a short registration form, submit, and pay for it. So, Ms. Beatrice, we'll figure out your issue shortly after this session. But in the meantime, again, like I said, you fill the registration form, submit, and pay. Now, please note that this particular this particular link is for the overall TPO, mainly for India. We have 6 different geographies where we are running national level prelims this year. The national level CENTA International TPOs are being run in Bangladesh, Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and Philippines. So teachers in these countries will have separate pages to go to and register, which we will share after this. So efforts never dies. Has a question. CENTA teaching question exams separate registration and payment, and for TPO separate registration and payment. Actually, no, sir, ma'am. Basically, the two tests are the same. As I said, it's a two-stage event: the prelims and the finals. Now, the prelims, the assessment for the prelims is the CENTA teaching question test. So you do not have to separately register and make any other payment for the TPO because it's automatically a part of the same. Great. So as you can see here, the price points are mentioned at 850 rupees plus GST per test track for India and 14 US dollars for international locations. Right. Now coming to the interesting part where hopefully good things will come to all of us who waited, which is the exciting announcement for the viewers of the session. But before that, I want to run a quick round of questions and answers for the people here. So our teachers have raised a few questions, which I will just try and now respond to along with the others. So I'm just trying to look through some of the questions that our teachers have raised. Right. So Sapna basic classes, you'd asked a couple of questions, sir or ma'am. You'd said, what is the benefits for us? So the benefits are multiple as explained in the previous slides, where we speak about how this is a very good self-training tool where you understand what your strengths and development areas are. But much more importantly, what it does is give you an opportunity to be globally rewarded and recognized by CENTA and its partners. So you get access to exclusive courses from some of the biggest universities in the world. You get the opportunity to visit the University of California, Santa Cruz on a scholarship for a science internship program and a summer internship program. You also get fantastic cash prizes from CENTA and its partners. So there are multiple benefits in this. And one thing I forgot to mention, sorry, is that this is also an assessment towards a certification. So you get CENTA Teaching Quotient certified if you clear the prelims of the test. Now, what institutes the clearing of the prelims is that you have to score 50% overall and 30% in each of the sections. So the four sections that I mentioned, you need to score 30% each across those. Great to see, Mr. GM Bugio, that you've downloaded it. Hope you get a lot of use of the app. I hope you can utilize it to help. So, great. Now we have a few more questions. Ms. Beatrice Nambela, so we don't have a separate link for Zambia this year. We do have it for 4 African countries. As I mentioned, Egypt, Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya. Soon we should be looking at Zambia also, seeing your enthusiasm. Mrs. Sharda Devi Ravatu says preparation material for both stages is the same or different. It is different actually. So the idea of the two different test phases is that the first test, which is the prelims, is actually an MCQ based test. So while the competencies tested will pretty much be the same because the format is entirely different, the preparation also differs. Now, the finals, you have a very different type of questioning. You have videos that you have to submit and upload. You have subjective questions, essay type questions that you need to respond to. So that will be a totally different way of preparing, which of course we will come to once we have the final list of finalists for the CENTA International TPO 2024. I hope that answers your question, Sharda Devi, ma'am. Mini Ramesh ma'am says, would like to get an idea of the type of questions for the prelims. Great question, ma'am. Like I said, we'll not go into any detail on the type of questions or sample questions in this session. We will come to that in upcoming sessions. Here, though, as you can see on the screen right now, we still have the list of the various resources. And given that most of our questions are around that, naturally, I wanted to bring this back so you could maybe access these right now in case you didn't find the time to do that earlier. Be a Lord M is asking, how can I download? I'm assuming you're asking how you can download the app. We have the links down here and before and after your question for both the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. Vanilla Prakash ma'am says, where can we download syllabus? Great question, ma'am. We will make the syllabus available very soon on the website, on the app itself. So you can again look at it once it's uploaded in a couple of days' time. Excuse me. Ms. Osazu Erabor says, please throw more light on the preliminary exams and the final exams. I hope my response to Sharda Devi ma'am has helped answer your question. In case it's not, please let me know and I'll happily discuss more. Kyangvi Isaiah asks, I can't see the CENTA TPO Kenya. Maybe we can add that link once again for the Kenya CENTA Kenya International TPO 2024. Great. So I hope you can use this link now, Mr. Kyangvi Isaiah, to access registration page for the CENTA Kenya CENTA International TPO. Great. Hiran Chetri is asking how to prepare for the finals. I think we'll cross that bridge once we get there, and once the final results of the prelims are announced, we'll happily take you through that process also. Hey, thank you so much for your kind words, Professor Manavalan. Fantastic to hear that. Mr. Milaku Takele, the registration details are still being shared, and you'll get more details as you move forward. Ms. Hiran Chetri says there will be no MCQ in finals. Yes, that's correct. There will not be any MCQ in finals as of now. In case there's a change, we'll definitely inform you. Great. Physics Mentor says they've appeared in CENTA TPO 2022 and they had an international rank of 561. I congratulate you and I hope you can top that this year. Great. So, Mr. Melaku, since you do not know the standards, then that's totally fine. We have the standards as a link that we'll share with you after this. For the people who are asking about the participation certificate, yes, you will, like most others, and we'll come to that. Ms. Florida Vijaya, which page are you, if I may ask, which page could not be found? While you answer that, Ms. Hiran Chetri, in terms of light on exam questions, as I mentioned earlier, we'll not get into that level of detail at all in this session. This was much more in terms of telling you a little more about the overall CENTA International TPO, how you can register. And of course, there's a massive surprise waiting for all of you here. Great. So now I'll move on to the surprise itself. So, as I had mentioned, the price point for registration, the registration fees for this year's event is 850 plus GST or 14 US dollars in international locations. For our special guests on this edition of or this session, we have a 30% flash discount for all of you to register. Please know that this is a very limited edition offer. It will expire within 24 hours, and it's not one of those offers that we'll keep giving, to be very honest. We really like your efforts of being here, attending this, being regular attendees to various CENTOX episodes, and we'd like to show this as a token of appreciation. So the price point for the next 24 hours for this group here will be 595 plus GST in India and 8.5 US dollars internationally. Please use the code CITPO 30 to get this discount. I will repeat that again. Please use the promo code while registration called CITPO 30. Using this, you'll automatically get a discount of 30% on wherever you're registering from. So your price comes down to under 600 rupees plus GST in India and under $9 internationally. I'll repeat that once again. The CITPO 30. So I'll stay here for around a minute or so. And if there are any questions around this, please do ask. Please do feel free to ask in the session, in the chat session here. In the meantime, I will also answer a few more questions. So Sabur Ali ma'am asks, is it work in Pakistan? Absolutely, ma'am. We have a thriving community in Pakistan of teachers, and we'd love to add you to it. Please take it from Pakistan also. You can use the code that I've mentioned here, which is CITPO 30, to reduce your price from 14 to 8.5 US dollars. Bhavya Mishra ma'am asks, do all who will qualify 30% and 50% each section overall be qualified for second stage? So the top 5,000 actually qualify. What we have found is that we reached close to that number, but not the full number. But in terms of a cutoff, it's the top 5,000 globally who will qualify. So efforts never dies asks if a center teacher quotient exam not able to attend, whether link will be sent again. Unfortunately, this exam is not reschedulable unless, of course, there is like God forbid a natural calamity or a force majeure because of which a lot of people were affected. In that case, you will absolutely reconsider. But in general, if you're not able to attend the exam, then the link does not get sent again. You simply have to register once again. So Vignesh M is asking multiple track, is it applicable? Yes, it is. However, please note that the finals are a one-time event. So it takes place at the same time. As a result, you have to apply only for like you'll be given a choice of one subject for the finals. So you could actually take 3 or 4 etc. tracks in your prelims, but in the finals, it'll come down to one track only. Ms. Vanila Prakash says, can you please conduct mock tests? It'll be helpful for preparing. So, ma'am, this is something that we have gotten a lot of requests for. and we do plan to start this at some point in future. I don't think we're at that stage yet, but your feedback has been taken. Ankita Verma ma'am says the link is having some error. Uh, may I ask what the error is saying? So Creative Corner says when clicking the link, PG not found from Oman, it shows. Uh, so we have had registrations from Oman. I think you'll have to use the right payment method to make the payment to register for this. Ardura Vermila, mock tests available on app. No, we don't have mock tests as I mentioned, but we do have a lot of like deep insights on questions across subject tracks. So when you go to any particular subject PDF, you can actually look at the subject expertise portion and look at why one answer or one option is correct and the others are not, including detailed explanations. We strongly believe that that is something that makes it much stronger in terms of preparation for this exam, because this competition tests your practical knowledge, not so much the theoretical aspect of it. So a few of you are saying that the page is not found. Are you trying to? So again, can the team, can the center team, please add the link a couple of more times? So Creative Corner, GTV, Elizabeth, Yo-Yo RN Singh, etc. Can you please try clicking on this link or copy pasting this in your browser once again? Point very well taken, Vigneshem. Absolutely. I completely agree with that thought process that you'd want to actually show or test your competencies in everything that you want to be good at. And for that reason, we're saying yes, you can definitely participate in as many tracks in the prelims. However, for the finals, you have to select one and limit yourself to that. I think so. If my team can add these as separate chat links. So the first is the link itself. I think a lot of us are copy pasting the entire link there, and hence are facing an issue. So if you can just click this link and use the promo code CITP for 30 to get the discount. I hope this works now for all of us who had some trouble in accessing the page. Uh, yes. So, in one word now, can I please request you to tell us how you're feeling about this year's CENTA International TPO? In the meantime, the team is getting ready the attendance link. But could you please let us know in one word only how you feel about this year's CENTA International TPO? So, Vigneshem, just to quickly again repeat what I mentioned, the finals is a one session slot. We want people to take the track finally in one track only, because otherwise it will not be fair to people, is the other point. Which is the reason why for the finals you select one track only. It's very encouraging to see some of the words that people are putting up here. Sapna Basic Classes says marvelous. Pedagonia Shakuntala says nice. ZFS says enthusiastic. Osas Soerabor says awesome. Megha Vivek Jaiswal says engaging. Uh, Nanu Betty is looking for the attendance link. Binsi Themapi says awesome. Vignesh feels vibrant. Hiran Chetri is asking a question which I'll come to. Setya Sarika says most awaited. We are also very, very excited about this, and we mirror all of the thoughts that you have put up right now. Very, very glad to have had this session. A quick check on the next steps from this session. Thank you, Tatepalli Suryakala, for calling it very effective. I'm very glad you found it effective. As part of this series, to again assist and support teachers in preparing, we have a whole list of subject specific sessions now upcoming in the next few weeks. So the next session will be on STEM, which will cover math, science, physics, chemistry, and biology. After which we have English, social sciences, early childhood education, and school leadership. So please look forward to each of those sessions, whichever is most relevant to you, and hope you find it all very useful. In the meantime, would love for all of you to keep engaging on the CENTA app to prepare for this. Great to see the words that are continuously coming in. Jaya Chaturvedi says she's excited. Vignesh M says this year excited. Fantastic. Very nice to see. Raghav says very nice. Tatepalli says effective again. Great. I will one last time bring my slide to the point where we talked about the resources so that you can once again look at how you want to access the resources in case you wanted another chance at doing that. Thank you so much, Hiran, for the feedback. I'm very glad you found it informative. Mini Ramesh is asking if one can take both subject and leadership. Absolutely, you can. It's your prerogative. Like I said, you can appear for multiple tracks in the prelims. However, for the finals, you'll have to select just one track in case you qualify in multiple tracks. Thank you, Shreyas. Glad you found it effective. Kagendra Bashal is excited, and so are we. We totally reflect your excitement. Same goes for Karnati Hanumant Rao. Lovely. So, thank you so much, everybody, for a very engaged session. I love the energy here. I wish I could see all of you also. But given the format of the Centox, we live with this and then we'll feel the excitement from the chat box and from the conversations we're having otherwise. Would love to engage and interact with all of you much more on the various aspects of the CENTA app that we mentioned. You already have the link for uh, for your participation certificates, etc. That is here. I hope you've all seen that. So the feedback form has a webinar code 4221, and the link is in the chat box. Looking forward to continued and more interaction and engagement with all of you, and hope to see this become a very interesting and very exciting journey together on the CENTA International TPO 2024. A few of you are saying you're nervous also, and that's not a bad thing at all. We're also very nervous at times, but it's what we do after that that matters. So we'll take our excitement and get over the nervousness. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm signing off now. It was a pleasure.